Hello guys, welcome to the video. Iron farms. By now you have probably seen maybe 10 billion different designs. All promising they are the easiest to build or the one that gets you the most iron. So would you still believe me if I said that I will show you a new iron farm design that is very easy to build and doesn't require any monstrous builds or nether portals? And that with only 6 villagers, this design doubles the amount of iron you get compared to the regular iron farm setups. I will also show you some clever ways to store the drops this farm produces with auto crafters and shulker boxes. First, let's quickly talk about some of the mechanics that make iron farms work. To make an iron farm, you're going to need at least 3 villagers, and each villager needs to have a bed that they can access and sleep in. You will then need a zombie that is going to scare the villagers, and that's what makes an iron golem spawn. Nothing much we can change about that. The most common in-game setup would then look something like this. We need a reliable way of locking the zombie in place and creating a mechanism that basically plays a peekaboo with the villagers. We need the villagers to sleep briefly and then reveal the zombie again, which makes the golem spawning cycle repeat. While this setup can get you solid 5 stacks of iron per hour, we can double it easily with the same amount of villagers and zombies. But one more thing before we get there. The reason for why this way of doing it is not so efficient is that this system has to slowly wait for the golem to disappear. You see, there is a catch with iron farms. Iron farms won't spawn any new golems if there have been any golems in the last 30 seconds in a roughly 32 by 32 by 32 area around the villagers. But this time is extended if we have to wait for the water stream to flush the golem off of the platform and for the lava to kill him. The 30-second timer resets only when the golem is gone. You may have seen players use Nether Portals to quickly teleport the golems away, but let's not do that. That means we need to find a different way to get rid of the golem as fast as possible. And the way we can achieve that in the game is by using redstone. Lucky for us, golems will spawn on trapdoors. So, with a simple setup like this, we can remove them when they spawn, away from the villagers almost instantly. We detect when the golems spawn with a string that is placed in front of the observer. The string triggers when the golem spawns, and that sends 2 quick pulses to the piston and the trapdoor, which immediately makes the golem fall through. We can then add multiple of these platforms to increase the spawning area. Using half slabs on top of every block forces the golems to spawn on the trapdoors, because now that is the only surface in the setup that allows them to spawn. We then collect them below the farm way outside the village range, ideally at least 32 blocks. We use this water setup and lava to kill them. To hold the lava in place, we can use this warped fence gate because it doesn't catch on fire. The drops are then collected by this system that has 4 parts. You don't need to build this to make the farm work. You can just store all the items in a chest with a hopper. First, we have this item filter to only pick up iron. Here is a quick video in case you don't know how to build one. Make sure the first hopper isn't facing down, but to the side. It can point to any side as long as it's not connected to any type of container. You will then need to build this shape and add a comparator, repeater, redstone torch and dust. Inside the first hopper, you need to put at least 4 filter items, ideally using an anvil to rename some junk items to prevent a mix-up. In the first slot, you then put the iron. This is attached to the water stream that flashes the drops from the farm. The second part is an auto-crafter that automatically crafts the iron ingots into blocks. This allows us to store the iron more efficiently. Here is a quick video how you can build this. Make sure the last hopper from your filter points into the autocrafter. You then need to build this setup with comparator, repeater and redstone dust. You will also need this target block to redirect the dust. From the other side of the comparator, we place another comparator facing into it. We then add another crafter behind it, and inside the crafter, we disable all the slots. This way, we create a clock that triggers when the first autocrafter has exactly 9 pieces of iron and we craft it into iron blocks. The third part of the system is the easiest, but it will only work this way if you have built at least the first filter for iron. We have a simple composter and hopper setup that turns the poppies into bone meal. Now, this won't produce insane amounts of bone meal, but since we have to deal with the poppies anyways, we might as well add this. The last part of the setup is maybe a bit redundant, but I always like to add this to all my farms. It allows us to store the blocks in these shulker boxes and then automatically replace them with empty boxes when they get full. Start by placing an upside down dispenser, then a barrel with a hopper attached to it. Place a comparator on top of the hopper, then follow with this block and redstone pattern. From the other side, add a node block and a piston. Fill the dispenser with empty shulker boxes and place one empty box down against the dispenser. When the shulker gets full, the piston breaks it and it's stored in the barrel. The dispenser immediately replaces it with an empty shulker. In survival, you want to build the farm as high up in the air as possible to prevent any golems spawning anywhere else than the trapdoor. Now, I know how tedious it is to work with villagers in survival, but using a villager breeder and a rail setup makes this much more easier. Using a furnace minecart to push the villager makes it also much easier. Working with zombies is a little bit easier because you can just let them follow you using a temporary staircase. Don't forget to name tag them or equip them with some items so they don't despawn. What's also awesome about this farm is that you can chunk load it and keep it producing at all times while you're playing in your world. If you want to learn more, check out my video Traveling 1000 blocks in 1 second on my YouTube channel. If you are thinking about extending this farm, the best way would be to build the exact same replica 32 blocks away. The double setup will get you around 1300 iron per hour. You can also stack the farm up with a few adjustments, but keep in mind that the golems that spawn in the upper levels will fall down by the villagers in the lower levels and therefore interfere with their spawn rates. Well, what do you guys think? If you like this video and you would like to help my channel to grow, you can help support me by leaving a comment, like, or watching my other videos. Another way you can support me is via my Patreon that I have set up as a tip jar. More information in the video description. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Take care.